Welcome students. Today I am going to start the session number 3 of chapter number 6, lines and angles of class 9th mathematics. So let us start with the today's topic. Angles formed when a transversal cuts two parallel lines. So उससे पहले थोड़ा सा मैं recapitulate कर देता हूँ parallel lines. So parallel lines, if two lines lie in the same plane and do not intersect even when they on uh, produced indefinitely on both the sides. Okay, such lines are called said to be parallel to each other, right? And the next topic is transversal. A straight line which cuts two or more straight lines at two distinct points is called transversal line. Not only two distinct points, three भी हो सकता है, four भी हो सकता है, right? So अगर three lines को intersect कर रहा है तो three distinct points होगा, four line को intersect कर रहा है तो four distinct points होगा. That is why the number is not mentioned at distinct points. Okay. So now let us start with the two parallel lines, that is AB parallel to CD and T is a transversal line which intersect AB and CD at point E. These 2 points are the intersecting two distinct points. Okay. Now सारे angles को mark कर लिए 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, right? So total 8 angles यहाँ पे हम लोग को मिल रहा है. We are getting total number of 8 angles. Now in the previous class we have already seen the pairs of corresponding angles, pairs of alternate interior angles, pairs of alternate exterior angles, and the pairs of angles, interior angles on the same side of the transversal line. Okay, so let us start with the pairs of corresponding angles. So the property of parallel lines is that the pair of corresponding angles are equal to each other. The corresponding angles are equal to each other. So angle 1 is equals to angle 5. These two are corresponding angle. And angle 4 is equals to angle 8. And angle 2 is equals to angle 6. And angle 3 is equals to angle 7. Okay, so how many pairs are there? Total number of pairs are 4 pairs are there. Okay, उसको थोड़ा सा मैं erase कर देता हूँ. Okay, now the next one is pairs of alternate interior angles. यहाँ पे दो pairs है. One is angle 3 or angle 5. The other pairs is angle 4 and angle 6, and these are equal to each other. Okay, तो एंगल 3 और 5 को हम लोग ऐसा लिख सकते हैं, एंगल 4 और 6 को, ये दोनों alternate interior angles है, right? So I think it is clear. Now let us move towards the next pair. One more pair is there, alternate exterior angle. Alternate exterior angle कौन सा होगा? Angle 2, angle 8, angle 1 or angle 7. Okay. So the two pairs of alternate interior angles are there. Alternate exterior angles are there. And these also are equal to each other. So angle 2 is equals to angle 8 and angle 1 is equals to angle 7. Now next is co-interior angles on the same side of the transversal line are supplementary. Okay, so यहाँ पे एंगल 3 और एंगल 6 जो है वो एक साइड पे है, राइट? और सिमिलरली एंगल 4 और एंगल 5 एक साइड में है, ट्रांसवर्सल के एक साइड में. सो these two angles are supplementary. That means that sum of these two angles is 180 degree, right? Angle 3 plus angle 6 is equals to 180 degree and angle 4 plus angle 5 is equals to 180 degree. Now one more important point is that interior angles on the same side of the transversal are also referred to as consecutive interior angles or allied angles or co-interior angles. Okay. Now next is very important is that we are going to prove some theorems. और theorems को prove करने के लिए हमारे पास कुछ ना कुछ एक axioms होना चाहिए. So यहाँ पर भी एक axiom है, corresponding angles axiom, right? If axiom 6.3 is if a transversal cuts two parallel lines, then each pair of corresponding angles are equal. इसका कन्वर्स भी ट्रू है, राइट? अगर करस्पॉन्डिंग एंगल्स इक्वल होंगे तो लाइंस पैरेलल होगा. So conversely, if a transversal cuts two lines making a pair of corresponding angles equal, then the lines are parallel, right? Now using these two axioms, now we are going to prove some theorems. So सबसे पहले theorem 6.2 देख लेते हैं. 6.1 ऑलरेडी हम लोग कर चुके थे, वर्टिकली ऑपोजिट एंगल्स वाला था. If a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then each pair of alternate interior angles is equal. नाउ मैंने पहले भी बताया था कि थ्योरम को प्रूफ करने के लिए कुछ पार्ट्स होते हैं. गिवन टू प्रूफ, यदि कंस्ट्रक्शन की जरूरत है तो कंस्ट्रक्शन एंड फिगर ऑल टुगेदर विल बी द हाफ वेटेज ऑफ द मार्क्स. अगर 4 मार्क्स का है तो 2 मार्क्स होगा, राइट? एंड 3 मार्क्स का होगा तो 1.5 होगा. तो इसमें सबसे पहले, एंड यू हैव टू कीप इन योर माइंड दैट द डायग्राम इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अब कुछ बच्चे प्रूफ याद रख लेते हैं और डायग्राम छोड़ देते हैं. तो CBSE इज वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट समटाइम्स. इट्स पिछले साल में भी क्लियर इंस्ट्रक्शन था कि अगर डायग्राम नहीं है तो प्रूफ 0 है. ओके, सो यू हैव टू बी वेरी केयरफुल. सो दिस इज द डायग्राम. लेट AB and CD are two parallel lines and T is the transversal line intersecting AB and CD at point E and F, right? So यहाँ पे दो पेयर्स हैं alternate interior angles के. One is angle 3, angle 5, angle 4 and angle 6. So this is given. Now what we have to prove, these two angles are equal. Okay, so now we don't require any construction here. So what we will do, we will use the properties of pairs of angles what we already studied. That is angle 1 is equals to angle 3. ये हम लोग पहले से पढ़ चुके हैं, राइट? एंगल 1 और एंगल 3 इक्वल है. क्यों? वर्टिकली ऑपोजिट एंगल्स, राइट? एंड एंगल 1 is equals to angle 5 also. Why? Corresponding angles. These two are corresponding angles. So these two are equal. So ये दोनों इक्वेशंस को अगर हम लोग ध्यान से देखें, एंगल 1 यहाँ पे कॉमन है. Angle 3 and angle 5 are both equals to angle 1. So they are also equal to each other. So angle 3 is equals to angle 5. So this is first pair. And for second pair के लिए second pair is angle 4 or angle 6, right? Now angle 2 is equals to angle 6 and angle 2 is equals to angle 4, right? Angle 4 जो है angle 2 के बराबर होगा. Why? Vertical opposite angles. And angle 2 is equals to angle 6. Why? Corresponding angles. Okay. So again angle 4 and angle 6 are both are equals to angle 2. ये दोनों जो है angle 2 के बराबर है. So both are equal to each other. Hence angle 3 is equals to angle 5 and angle 4 is equals to angle 6. Okay. तो ये मैं मिटा देता हूँ so that you can draw the diagram by seeing this diagram. Okay, fine. Now we are moving towards theorem number 6. The statement is that if a transversal intersects two lines such that a pair of alternate interior angles is equal, then the two lines are parallel. So this is the converse of 6.2 theorem. 6.2 theorem में क्या था कि lines parallel है तो alternate interior angles equal है. Now this is, in this theorem alternate interior angles are equal and we have to show that the lines are parallel. So फिर से हम लोग सबसे पहले डायग्राम ड्रॉ कर लेते हैं. Let AB and CD are two lines, not parallel. We have to show that AB and CD are two lines. T is the transversal line, transversal intersecting AB and CD at two distinct points E and F, such that angle 3 is equals to angle 5, right? और हम लोग को प्रूफ क्या करना है? What we have to prove? AB is parallel to CD. Now here also we don't require any construction, right? So सबसे पहले जो दिया उसको लिख लेते हैं. Angle 3 is equals to angle 5 and angle 1 is equals to angle 3 also. Why? Because vertically opposite angles. Now angle 1 and angle 5 both are equals to angle 3, right? So दोनों एक ही एंगल से इक्वल है तो दोनों आपस में इक्वल हो जाएंगे. सो एंगल 1 इज इक्वल टू एंगल 5, बट these are corresponding angles, right? And by corresponding angles axiom, corresponding angles axiom के दो पार्ट हैं. एक तो अगर लाइंस पैरेलल है तो corresponding angles इक्वल होंगे, अगर corresponding angles इक्वल है तो लाइंस पैरेलल होंगे. So we conclude that AB is parallel to CD by corresponding angles axiom. So this is theorem number 6.3. Now we will move towards theorem number 6.4 theorem. If a transversal intersect two parallel lines, then each pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary. Okay. So सबसे पहले फिगर ड्रॉ कर लेते हैं. So same given यहाँ पर भी रहेगा. AB is parallel to CD and T is a transversal intersecting AB at point E and CD at point F, such that, not such that, these two parallel, the work we have to show that angle 3 plus angle 6, because these two angles are on the same side of the transversal line. So the sum of these two angles is 180 degree. और जो दूसरा पेयर है वो एंगल्स 4 है और एंगल 5 है, right? So these two pairs we have to show that they are parallel to each other. Okay, now we are going to start what is given. Already I told you that AB is parallel to CD and T is a transversal, cuts AB at E and CD at F, forming two pairs of consecutive interior angles, namely angle 3, angle 6 and angle 4, angle 5. And what we have to prove? Angle 3 plus angle 6 is equals to 180 degree and angle 4 plus angle 5 is equals to 180 degree. Okay. Next, proof start करते हैं. Now, what is the sum of angle 3 and angle 4? What is the sum of these two angles? 180 degree. Why? Because by linear pair. So how we will write? Since ray EF stands on a line AB, so we have angle 3 plus angle 4 is equals to 180 degree by linear pair. Now angle 4 is equals to angle 6. Why? Why angle 4 is equals to angle 6? Because these two are alternate interior angles. Already पिछले theorem में हम लोग prove कर चुके हैं. So that we can use here. Right? Now I am going to replace angle 4 by angle 6. Right? Therefore angle 3 plus angle 6 is equals to 180 degree. So first pair हम लोग का proof हो गया. Now for second pair, angle 4 plus angle 5 is equals to 180 degree. इसको मैं पहले मिटा देता हूँ. Right. Angle 4 और angle 5. तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे? ये वाला पेयर लेंगे, angle 6 और angle 5. Right. The sum of these two angles is 180 degree. Why? Because linear pair. Okay. And now angle 6 is equals to angle 4, alternate interior angles. So we conclude that फिर से हम लोग क्या करेंगे? 6 के जगह पे in place of 6 we will replace it by 4. So angle 4 plus angle 5 is equals to 180 degree. Right? Hence angle 3 plus angle 6 is equals to 180 degree and angle 4 plus angle 5 is equals to 180 degree. So हम लोग का third theorem भी हो गया. Now we'll move towards theorem 6.5 theorem. If a transversal intersects two lines such that a pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary, then the two lines are parallel. पिछले theorem का converse है ये. Now in the previous theorem what was there? What it was there that if lines are parallel, then the sum of co-interior angles on the same side of the transversal is 180 degree. Now here sum is 180 degree is given and we have to show that the lines are parallel. Okay. So सबसे पहले diagram draw कर लेते हैं. AB and CD are two lines. Now यहाँ पे parallel नहीं बताना है क्योंकि वो हम लोग को proof करना है. So AB and CD are two lines intersecting by transversal at point E and F respectively, and such that angle 3 plus angle 6 is equals to 180 degree एंगल 4 प्लस एंगल 5 इज इक्वल टू 180 डिग्री। तो कोई भी एक पेयर लेना है, क्योंकि क्वेश्चन स्टेटमेंट में यही लिखा हुआ है अ पेयर ऑफ इंटीरियर एंगल्स, तो वी कैन टेक एनी वन पेयर। सो आई एम टेकिंग एंगल 4 प्लस एंगल 5 इज इक्वल टू 180 डिग्री। ओके, सो व्हाट वी हैव टू प्रूव, हम लोग को प्रूफ क्या करना है, AB is parallel to CD, right? Now here also we don't require any construction. Now we will start with what is given, angle 4 plus angle 5 is equals to 180 degree. Okay, and what is angle 1 plus angle 4? Angle 1 plus angle 4 कितना होता है? That is also 180 degree. Okay, we'll start with angle 1 plus angle 4. The sum of these two angles is 180 degree. Why? Linear pair. And the sum of angle 4 and angle 5 is also given 180 degree, right? So both the sum are equal to 180 degree, that means both are equal to each other. अब यहाँ पे एंगल 4 और दोनों साइड में है, so हम लोग क्या करेंगे, उसको एलिमिनेट कर देंगे। So angle 1 is equals to angle 5. Okay, so but these are corresponding angles. If you see carefully, this angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding angles, angle 1 and angle 5. So by corresponding angles axiom, we can conclude that AB is parallel to CD. So उसके बाद क्या लिखेंगे, but these are corresponding angles, so therefore AB is parallel to CD by corresponding angles axiom. So theorem 6.5 भी हो गया. Now we are moving towards one important theorem, one important topic, lines parallel to the same line. So इसका theory portion कुछ भी नहीं है. Under this we have to study one theorem, that is 6.6. Lines which are parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. ठीक है, अगर दो लाइन है, वो दोनों लाइन सेम लाइन से पैरेलल होता है, तो वो भी एक दूसरे के पैरेलल है. सो दिस इज द डायग्राम. सपोज L is parallel to M and N is also parallel to M, then L and N are equal to they are parallel to each other. So let us take L is parallel to N and M is parallel to N. So what we have to show then, इसमें कॉमन कौन सा है, कॉमन कौन सा है, N कॉमन है. So these two are parallel to each other, that we have to show. Okay, so इतना clear हो गया. Now next next step में हम लोग क्या करेंगे, सबसे पहले what is given that L is parallel to N. So L और N का corresponding angle क्या है, 1 और 3. So angle 1 is parallel to angle angle 1 is equals to angle 3. बट इसमें ट्रांसवर्सल दिया नहीं है, तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे, इसमें कंस्ट्रक्शन करेंगे. सो ड्रॉ अ ट्रांसवर्सल T कटिंग L, M, N at point E, F and G respectively, and we can name it by 1, 2, 3. So प्रूफ के लिए सबसे पहले मैंने बताया था भी L is parallel to N, so angle 1 will be angle 3. Angle 1 is equals to angle 3 by corresponding angle. दूसरा दिया हुआ है M is parallel to N. So M और N का corresponding angle ये दोनों होगा, angle 2, angle 3, right? So angle 2 is equals to angle 3 corresponding angles. So from these two, both the angles are equals to angle 3. So we can conclude that angle 1 is equals to angle 2. But angle 1 और angle 2 क्या है? Angle 1 and angle 2 are the corresponding angles for these two lines, L and M. So what we write, but these are corresponding angles formed when the transversal T cuts L and M at E and F respectively. So therefore L is parallel to M by corresponding angles axiom. So ये हो गया हम लोग का theorem, right? Now I am going to do some examples. सो 2-3 एग्जांपल्स कर लेते हैं इसके बेसिस पे, उसके बाद एक्सरसाइज नेक्स्ट सेशन में हम लोग स्टार्ट करेंगे. फर्स्ट एग्जांपल, if a line is perpendicular to one of the two given parallel lines, then prove that it is also perpendicular to the other line. अगर दो पैरेलल लाइन है, दोनों पैरेलल लाइन में अगर कोई लाइन एक पैरेलल लाइन का परपेंडिकुलर है, if a line is perpendicular to one line, so though it is then it is parallel to perpendicular to the other line also. So यही डायग्राम है. मान लो M और N जो है, these two are parallel lines, okay, and L is perpendicular to M. So L is also perpendicular to N according to this statement. So that we have to show, right? So what is given that L, M, N are three lines such that M is parallel to N and L is perpendicular to M. So we have to show that L is perpendicular to N also. मतलब एंगल 1 जो है 90 डिग्री होगा और हम लोग को ये शो करना है कि एंगल 2 भी 90 डिग्री है. सो दिस इज वेरी सिंपल एग्जांपल. सिंस L is perpendicular to M, we have angle 1 is equals to 90 degree. Okay. Now M is parallel to N. M is parallel to N. So what we will get? Angle 1 is equals to angle 2. Why? Because by corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are equal. Now it is given that angle 1 is equals to 90 degree. So we'll conclude that angle 2 is also equals to 90 degree. Right? Hence L is perpendicular to N. So ये तो था first example. So now we are going to see the one more example. If the bisector of a pair of corresponding angles formed by a transversal with two given lines are parallel, prove that given lines are also parallel. So ये एक डायग्राम ले लेते हैं. इसमें AB और CD पैरेलल नहीं दिया हुआ है, right? AB and CD are two lines such that this is one corresponding angles, right? One pair of corresponding angles. The bisector of this angles are parallel. So कौन-कौन से लाइन पैरेलल होगा? EG और FH, right? Diagram is clear. Now what we have to show that AB is parallel to CD proof करना है. So सबसे पहले what is given that I am going to write. A transversal PQ cuts two lines AB and CD at E and F respectively. EG and FH are the bisectors of a pair of corresponding angles, angle PEB and angle EFD respectively, such that EG is parallel to FH. Now this is given. Now what we have to show? AB is parallel to CD. तो सबसे पहले ये दोनों तो पैरेलल दिया हुआ है. So these two angles are equal. Angle PEG is equals to angle EFH. Why? Because these two are corresponding angles, right? So this will imply these two angles are also equal. ये कौन सा एंगल है? ये वाला एंगल और ये वाला एंगल भी इक्वल होगा. Okay, because EG is the bisector of this angle and FH is the bisector of FH is the bisector of this angle and EG is the bisector of this angle. Okay, इसको मिटा देते हैं बहुत. Okay, now next ये दोनों तो इक्वल हो गया, इसको 2 टाइम्स कर लेते हैं. We'll make it 2 times. Now these two are already equal. कौन-कौन सा एंगल? ये दोनों इक्वल है और ये दोनों इक्वल हो गए. क्लियर? सो इसका मतलब इसका जो 2 टाइम्स होगा ये पूरा कंप्लीट एंगल मिल जाएगा और इसका जो 2 टाइम्स होगा ये वाला पूरा कंप्लीट एंगल मिल जाएगा. Why? Because angle GEB is half of angle PEB and then angle HFD is half of angle EFD. Clear? But those two angles are corresponding angles when AB and CD are cut by the transversal PQ. So therefore AB is parallel to CD by corresponding angles axiom. Okay, so अब हम लोग last example देखने. Last example is if two parallel lines are intersected by a transversal, then prove that the bisectors of any pair of alternate interior angles are parallel. Okay, so अगर दो लाइंस पैरेलल है तो उनका जो अल्टरनेट इंटीरियर एंगल्स है उनका बाइसेक्टर भी पैरेलल होगा. सो दिस इज द डायग्राम एंड हियर हम लोग को प्रूफ करना है ई जी इज पैरेलल टू एफ एच, राइट. सो पहले क्या दिया हुआ, ए बी इज पैरेलल टू सी डी आर कट बाय अ ट्रांसवर्सल डी एट ई एंड एफ रेस्पेक्टिवली. EG and FH are the bisectors of pair of alternate interior angles AEF and EFD. ठीक है, ये दोनों पेयर होगा, फर्स्ट पेयर एंड दिस इज सेकेंड पेयर, राइट. इसको मैं मिटा देता हूँ. नाउ नेक्स्ट what we have to show that since AB is parallel to CD and T is a transversal, so we have angle AEF is equals to angle EFD. Why? Because these two are alternate interior angles. ये पूरा एंगल और ये पूरा एंगल, ये दोनों इक्वल होगा. ओके, क्यों? क्योंकि alternate interior angles है. Now the half of these two angles are equal to each other, right? Half of these two angles are equal to each other. Now in the question it is given that EG and FH are the bisectors, right? So we conclude that these two angles are also equal, GEF and equals to EFH. Okay, now but these are alternate interior angles formed when the transversal EF cuts EG and FH. So therefore we conclude that EG is parallel to FH. Okay, so ये तो था example, last example. Now in the next session we are going to start the exercise. Okay, and I'm going to wind up this session. Okay, that's all for today's session. Thank you very much.